Hey guys, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Keith Lemay. I'm a 34-year-old stunt performer that lives in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and I've lived here for the last 5 years. When I get asked, what is it like to be a stunt performer, and how did I get into stunts? I often find myself struggling to come up with a good answer to that question, but currently, I tell people it's what happens when you don't grow up. This will be the first video in a series of videos where I attempt to share with you what the life of just one stunt performer looks like. But first, a quick summary of my life to bring you up to date. I grew up in a completely normal way. I hung out with friends, I played sports, I was even a national cheerleading champion. We always found ways to get into trouble and have fun, and I spent way too much time with my cousins, especially that one. As I got older, I started to work doing labor and construction jobs, and that's when I really started to feel like a dog getting a bath that just couldn't sit still and couldn't wait to break free. I often found myself doing little things at work that would make life just a little more exciting. After work and in between work days, I would be spending my time doing things like this. And all too often, dragging my not-so-athletic friends into being a part of my videos. At some point along the way, I started to get pretty good at what I was doing. And people would notice and often jokingly say things like, "You could be a stuntman." Something changed, and I started to believe it. So I started to train so much harder. However, training alone wasn't enough, and having been in construction pretty much my whole life, I didn't really know anything about film or stunts. Fortunately for me, I had the privilege of buying Randy Butcher, a stunt coordinator that coincidentally lived near me, a beer. He sat me down after I had told him my life story and told me, "You need to have more hands-on experience. Things like ratchets, wire work, fire burns, car hits, high falls, and so on." And so I did what any person would have done at that point, and I stopped pursuing construction. I quit that day. I took what little money I had and bought a ticket to Stunt Academy, a 3-week technical stunt course in Australia that covered everything that I was told I needed to train. And for the first time in my life, I felt like I was doing what I was supposed to be doing.
Keith again.
Loser. Yeah. That was unreal.
When I came home from Stunt Academy, I knew that I was going to need to get away from my old life, or I would just fall right back into it, which had always been the case in my past. I knew that getting rid of familiarities would bring a higher level of awareness due to the loss in comfort. It would also help me to better absorb the nuances of being in a new industry, province, and city. And personally, having a new type of challenge to test my proficiency and adaptation, increasingly builds an ever-growing sense of curiosity. Like, what else could I accomplish if I actually just started doing the things that I think about and stopped listing the reasons that I can't? Because being tickled pink by the elusive idea of miraculous now just leaves me increasingly consumed by the temptation of instant gratification. And what I've learned about myself in this short period of time is that being curious feels way better than feeling nothing at all, which is why I chase it. So I drove from Ontario, Canada, across the country to Vancouver, BC, where I've now been for the last 5 years. So that should help give you a rough idea of who I am and why I decided to pursue stunts. As I mentioned before, I'm going to be making a series of videos that show you just one stunt performer's life. Everything from what I've been learning on this journey to the types of stunt training that I do and the adventures that I go on with my friends. And look, if you actually enjoyed this video, please do me a huge favor and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It makes a huge difference for me for how YouTube is going to prioritize my videos in the future. And if you want to be notified for when I post my next video, hit the little bell symbol directly beside the subscribe button. Thank you so much again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.